2023 playoffs when T1 started their run towards Worlds.
Look.
KT was there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was this 2v2 that started, I think, the ascent to greatness.
We saw the Jin coming in, Val. This bot side, this prio is actually going to give owner free license to grab that first Drake for T1. And I actually want to talk about T1's
play from Gen.G, gonna fizzle out for now. Gen.G has been able to build a big lead in the mid lane here, though, with Faker having to respect the pressure that has come through. That's the real Canyon.
Canyon forced to flash away. Stun landing. Immediate fall coming in from Keria. Owner and Keria working together beautifully. Canyon might just cut down by base damage. Faker now trying to follow, but they don't quite have enough burst.
That stun that Chovy landed onto Faker to keep him out of that was huge, and kind of the only reason that Gen.G weren't, the Canyon kind of didn't die, right?
Oh, Gen.G though used a lot of cooldowns. They still want to look for the contest here. T1, are they ready?
Gen.G, Guma ready to pull the feathers back. Maybe happy to just take one grub, try to deny all three. Magic so far, good pushback. Only man can find the clone, and now it's first blood coming through. Keen there in the nick of time, and the needles are starting to fly. T1 packing things up, trying to get out now. Last grub, they aren't even worried about it. Carry and owner on the way out. Guma trying to hold on, but the Void grubs are down, and in the end, it's 2.
30 seconds.
And I think the scary thing here is we've seen T1 prioritize Drakes, as you mentioned, Emily, and so often it's worked out. But often Gen.G with the gold lead is a more terrifying threat, though. Keen now locked up, cut down on the way out, and the TP's too late. Chovy found a little bit of CC, maybe he can burn down owner, but they want to turn this one back. 3 looking for the 4 stack, but instead finds a kill in return.
Chovy's able to get the return kill, but there you see,
Stun, flash, okay!
It's probably about time to mention. But then steps too far forward, and Doran's just able to take advantage.
And Chovy, of all people, should know, having played with Doran for a good amount.
He is able to get something back, but a little overconfident. We're not going to get to see the rest of the replay because Chovy's been locked up once again. All of T1 descend upon mid lane.
So yeah, they're punching back really well.
Oh, Doran, he goes in.
Needlework used. Duro on the way. Doran counter trying to get a bit of damage back, but he should just fall here. Should be an easy kill pickup. Starting to retreat now. Will finally get cut down through the ultimate. A nice side lane pick for Gen.G. Pick on side lane. Chovy maybe feels like he's secure because he knows that objective would normally be the priority, but he's going to find out very quickly that he's not alone. How is he going to try to outplay this one? Baron to lock up Faker, try to mitigate some of that damage, but there's just nowhere you could go! The Annie does not have the tools to escape! Does the 3-man dive, works out for T1.
And that's first turret to T1, as Gen.G will be able to take down this Herald, as that should give them feats, yeah. But it's T1.
Chovy not expecting that many resources being paid towards him as Keen.
Push back onto Keen. Keria on the way in. Exhaust coming into Rakan. The charm, the layered CC, nearly flawless. Keen trying to heal back. Keen trying to make the difference. Doesn't quite have it. Faker.
Canyon.
Contest this is Ruler. Quick ulti in the mid lane. Gets the cleanse. Now can wander down to the Drake, but T1 taking their time. Likely to concede this. Don't want to give up a Drake for free, but really don't have the resources on the map. And in the meantime, it is still Keria and Faker pushing down on the top side.
And what we see here is textbook T1, right? Just overloading on these sides. First is the pick onto Chovy, then it's a top side play, baiting and TP. It looks like Doran is overextending. He's fine anyway. Might have to be careful here as we do have Duro on the deep flank.
Pick is Keria. Now realizes he spot Duro. Quick bit of lockup trying to protect Faker. Faker needs to get it out of there. Keria going to use the ulti to try and hold on. Duro trying to find it. Chovy looking for a bit of fall, but Faker still standing for now. Owner ready to body block the shots. Faker still living, but in comes Keen. Gen.G on the bottom side have found a man out of place, and they're looking to find quick kills. Making it look effortless, but it's Doran now. Herald used it, might just have to be the escape path. Doran locked up and shut down the 4th shot. Finds his mark and out.
We need to revoke Canyon's driver's license after that one. But yeah, that was so...
Walking in, Faker, Doran on the flank. Multi-pronged fights, you mentioned it before. Looks like we might just flip it. 3.9k instead. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker, but now it's T1 going all in onto Keen. Keen, Doro looking for the encounter gauge. A nice interrupt to stop him from getting into the midst of the entire lineup. Keria barely holding on alive, and they get the Otacon! Guma steals it! That's Faker now on the retreat. Gen.G hungry for blood. They need to get kills back. They can't afford to give this away for free. Keen will get Faker, but at the cost of the Otacon.
Should be able to get Doran in this turret as well. Gen.G trying to snowball as much as they can.
Taking another kill, but there's not much to transition it to. A top lane tower maybe, but that's infuriating for Gen.G. They got the kills, they just couldn't get the objective. Yeah, unless they want to risk the fight walking into Fog of War. Faker would much prefer to have that set up first. You can see Owner not afraid to eat a bit of damage as Canyon goes forward, but Owner, quick interrupt on the Arctic Assault may just give his life. The burst from Gen.G is too much.
Tank damage, but with both a Wukong, Bloodletters on Chovy, as well as a Gwen. Even Owner, the tankiest member, I think, on the Rift is just going to go down in seconds.
Keen playing on the edge there a little bit, testing Doran, see if we can find a bit more of an advantage as Doro waits behind. Be a bit tankier. You are very squishy. The upside is, in the fights to come, as we keep our eye on Carrier, Ruler push back! Caught out, T1 ready to go through, in the Ruler spot, essentially!
It's the Ruler moment.
Confidence, knowing how much burst damage they can lay down if needed. T1 forced to respond, it's only Faker providing them a pressure. Definitely a strong point. Ruler tries to find a route. T1 looking to get aggressive as Carrier manages to catch out Chovy. Quick 1-2 punch. Chovy flashing, gets the bear down. Sprinting as fast as his little legs can go, but it's Owner to finish the job. Now Keen looking to follow up. Doro looking to find a 3-man knockup. And in goes the Gwen, trying to snip away through the T1 mid laner. Carrier catching, trying to defend. It's just not enough. They're too powerful. Doran, though, looking to take down Ruler. He knows he has no flash. He wants desperately to finish the job. The Q forward! The leap strike. Doro can't find the route. It's a mess across the fight, but it looks like Keen should just be able to chase this one down. Doran taking his time, ward over the wall, quick hop to safety. Multiple members lost on both sides. 2 down for the side of Gen.G, 3 down for the side of T1. Guma needs to make the difference. 3 items on this carry, but it's Duro and Canyon on the chase. Feathers go up, they'll pull back, he can't find the angle, and down goes Guma.
Oh, Canyon's here.
Willing to flip it, willing to bet it. Canyon stepping up, T1 now retreating. Is this just going to be a massive leash? Gen.G.
They found Faker.
No reason to take the risk, and now it's Faker who has been caught out, wants to slide back, but there's Ruler waiting, looking for the finish, the kill. Faker gonna go down. T1 over eager, too comfortable in the idea.
Looks a lot different.
Carrier has smite and is waiting around the pit.
Oh.
He's 3K, he's wandering in, he's looking for the miracle steal. Junglers are hating some of their spellbook right now, but Gen.G have the discipline. They don't know.
Started again. TP used. All sums basically available here. Gen.G.
Chovy, CC onto Doran, instant combo. There's nothing he can do about it, but he goes golden. He buys an extra moment, and it's Guma and Faker on the backline for now, uncontested, trying to fire back. But the objective in the sights of Gen.G, keeping the pressure there.
There he has smite.
That he does. As does Owner, and they're trying to lock him out of the pit. Canyon, nice backstep with the clone. The chunks onto both clones, massive, but not the real champions. Gen.G poking.
Using the mountain shield.
Yeah.
Just waiting for it to regen.
Chovy on the flank. Ruler trying to find the angle. Bit of CC down on a Faker. The flash forward, he goes golden. Can they try to turn this one back? A multi-man push into the waiting arms of Guma. Guma free firing, but Chovy flashes forward, finds the CC. Quick QSS. Ulti out. The fight is so damn close. Ruler, one more bullet into the ulti. And it might just be curtains for T1 because Gen.G, what a fight. The quadra for Ruler.
Ruler quadra kill cleans up a fight that was so close. At Baron, they'll be able to take down this mid-tier 2, and I think they might try to push to end here.
Lore accurate Jin right there. Ruler with the quadra. Look at that damage. This man was one of the weak spots on this team coming into MSI. He was the one, together with Duro, that was most criticized, but his Jin performance this tournament has been insane.
Incredible stuff from Gen.G. They got the advantage. They gave T1 no quarter, no angle, no way of attack back into that one as they take game 1 with confidence.
Within the current meta, as long as you get an AD carry that has a way out of a Cataclysm and out of an Ornal, that's really all you're looking for, right? Even being able to not have to deal with the culling is a big win for Ruler here.
Yeah, and I think that's why they kind of wanted to wait to see the full composition, right? But Ezreal...
Always good to celebrate when a player has this much tenure, but might be celebrating something else here on the bottom side as Doro's already going to be locked up, but Canyon's going in mid lane. That's the flash out from Faker, and he still finds the knockback into the wall. Faker cut down!
They're getting it off that bot lane.
Talked about the history of the matchup as well. You can see Chovy relatively favored, but it might not matter in the face of this fight as Chovy's going to get locked up and cut down. Guma and Faker finding the kill. Owner with the setup, and now it's Canyon in trouble. The Skarner was good early, but he hasn't been able to get anything else. Carry is still standing. Multiple members marked up. Concussive blows! Everybody's getting knocked out! Instant feat of warfare for T1, but they're not done. Doran on the top side. Bonks him with the hammer, taking his sweet time, fishing for the knockup. But he's not going to finish the job.
Ruler. Really start roasting people as you'd want from an early rumble.
Canyon, nice sidestep. May try to go through the wall here, but Keen is on the way down, so he might be happier about this fight than expected. Canyon not feeling the preat at all as Keen manages to find the kill onto Faker. Canyon still manages to get out. The flash over the wall. They're absolutely bamboozled. Canyon needs a little bit more shielding. Duro! Are you kidding me? The slimmest margins. Canyon shouldn't be alive, and he's still going. Q forward, shattering strike, buying a bit more time. Oh, the flame spitter, it just keeps coming. Canyon lives. It's a jungle. Good cop, bad cop, you know?
I gotta make sure, you know, it can't just let T1 get away with it, and Helper, we have seen even in backstage, really big for the Gen.G mentor, and really every single clip. That's just how he is. Even
Really has enough sustained damage outside of the Rumble to win out in these fights, although Canyon getting things kicked off, manages to snag 2, and Ruler's here. Free firing is the Ezreal. Guma unfazed. Carrion now retreating, likely just to fall here. They'll get 1. Ruler happy to have the kill.
And that's the playmaking Skarner we've come to expect from Canyon. That's why he is so dangerous on this champion, and Guma might be in trouble.
Owner spotted.
Dashing through, Mystic shot sidestepped, TP on the way down, Owner on the way in, flash out from Guma's good, Shattering Strike still hits and down he goes. Owner's finally here. One kicking things off. Gen.G not in a great spot. Do have the necessary vision to try and contest. Ruler off on the side seems to be the target. Duro locked up, flicked back, doesn't have the chance to do anything. Excellent block on the ulti coming in from Ruler. Solid pick to start the fight for T1, and now Gen.G, they're starting to reconsider.
You kind of set that up, Dracos, with the pick potential, right? The Braum to Leah combo coming in clutch for T1.
Look at that TP.
Canyon.
Doran's on his way.
Ruler still standing. 1500, it's going to be the flip. Chovy potentially locked up by the ram. Locked down in the pit. T1 already found one. They're looking for another. It's Chovy off on the side. As T1 descend, and Keen trying to make the difference. The Realm Warp not coming out in time, and Keen cut down!
And Gen.G is just walking into a big multi-man engage from Duro and from Canyon. That could be enough to turn the fight as the TP comes in.
TP from Gen.G, immediate response coming in from Doran. Chovy now trying to Realm Warp out. He wants nothing to do with that fight. Lockup goes there onto Duro. Faker looking to follow. Goes over the wall, but he's all on his lonesome on this side. Doran quick to follow up as well. Colin coming out. Guma knocking him down. Canyon needs to get out. He'll find the retreat, but it's T1 who are first on pulling the trigger. T1 finding the angle of attack. Chovy, Ruler still standing. Double threats. Canyon there to potentially steal, but it looks like the objective is already gone. Down goes the Herald. Retreat out from Duro. 4 members standing on the side of Gen.G, but T1 looking to run him down. Ruler caught. Knockup now connecting. Doran running out of health. The turn back coming in. Canyon, damn clutch. Chovy needs the damage to finish the job, though, and he doesn't have it. Charging through is the Herald into the mid lane, and T1 get the fight.
And Gen.G didn't have the damage there, even though they were able to get off a beautiful CC combination from Duro. And
Prodding on the side, contesting a bit of vision, making sure Gen.G feel threatened. But T1 not hesitating to risk the flip.
Faker wall.
Canyon, they don't see him. Faker wall the zone off. Equalizer to start things off, keeping them in the fight. Canyon going over, but who's going to get it in the end? Eyes on the Drake, but Faker laying down so much damage to the Drake might not even matter. Guma continuing to free fire. Uncontested his door, just barely makes it out. No, he will get cut down. Canyon finds a good ulti, but Chovy zoned from the fight. The Rise doesn't have the range, but T1 sure as hell have the damage. Another fight in their favor.
Canyon still in the area. Might look for a possible steal. Desperation play from the Skarner. He's not seen.
2.5k. Getting lower. Not spotted.
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know. Goes in, goes right back out. But now the chase. Hex gate. T1 want a little bit more. Canyon running. Flick back, flash.
T1 in control of the tempo.
Definitely not. And one thing that I will say. Guma looking powerful, but may have been picked off. Carrier here to body block and try to cover. Guma sidestepping as best he can, but they're moving their way around the Unbreakable. Down goes the Equalizer, and Guma cut out of the fight. Ezreal ulti from Ruler is good. The fight's still coming through for Gen.G. They found the angle, and they're taking it. Quick double for Ruler.
We talked about Ruler being taken out of the last fight.
Knows that they are not out of this game yet. His autocon has been started up.
Doran trying to get in, ready to blow the horn if he has to. Owner, it's so hard to deny him access to the pit. Doran getting chunked out, still 5k, they can't really afford. Instead, they're turning. Gen.G collapsing on the flanker of Doran, but here comes Faker laying down the wall. All D leverage. Only one member gonna get knocked up. They want to burn through Chovy. 4k on the objective. They're not gonna be able to finish it, but now the fight breaking out. Carrier trying to find the angle. Guma usually throwing down the calling, and all of Gen.G is starting to fall. Chovy and Keen on the run. They can burn whoever they want, but it's not enough to take the fight. Doran unfazed. Carrier stepping up. Faker to follow through and bring it home. 7k on the autocon, but it belongs to T1.
The T1 not going to let a single pick stop them from doing what they love, which is fist fighting to the death. As the crowd goes crazy, Otacon goes the way of T1, and the odds of this series going to 1-1 are looking good right now.
And the crowd deafening, there's no way, there's no amount of white carry off on the side. It's Keen, caught off once again. He buys an extra second, but it just does not matter. Down goes the Rumble, the Equalizer decent, but the follow-up is just not there. Carry a body blocking, keeping Chovy out of the fight single-handedly. He's gonna be able to realm warp to safety, but Canyon with the pullback, can it be the face of turn? Faker stunned, not able to find the fall, but the flick back into Chovy, it's good! T1! Find the angles, find the fight, find the pick, and just keep the ball rolling. Gen.G shell-shocked as T1 break into the mid lane.
It's a layered engage from T1. 1 into 2 into 3. Doran followed up by
They're
Faker.
in such a good position. And that was such a beautiful Drake setup. Gen.G had no choice.
Keen needs to be on top of people. He doesn't really have a choice, right? He needs to do damage. He needs to actually get value from his kid. But the moment you get even remotely close, you are an immobile carry. Ornn can just, with any of his CC, any of his knockup, especially with the follow-up that's there, between Braum passive, between Talia flick, between Owner following up, it's so easy to just find a target, an immobile. TP from Doran is coming in, but the Baron is going down.
Meantime, Doran buying a bit more space. They're not in a position to contest. They can't even get Doran as well. Now the horn has been blown, and it might be Keen who's been caught out. Doran trying to find the disengagement. In the meantime, it's Keen getting cut down where he stands. Does not have time to go golden. It does not matter as Faker's on a rampage. And T1 are out for blood.
Doran is but the jester. He's distracting them, TPing in their midst as Gen.G see the objective taken by T1. And now what surely will be the final push of this game too.
T1 pushing through, tearing Gen.G apart in these fights. Gen.G had that first kill, but kept giving these angles back to T1. Owner getting aggressive onto Chovy. Chovy no way out. Carrier ready to follow up. He has to go back under the tier 3 tower. Good sidestep keeps him standing. T1 maybe
Faker's
forced
here.
back for a moment, but as you highlight, Emily, Faker is here. And the Hextech Soul, that poke only continuing to add up. Ruler trying to get some push, but Carrier ready. Uses the unbreakable. Gen.G.
Oh. The damage. It's T1.
Lock up there, flick back onto Canyon, manages to find a few members, but again, Gen.G running, sent packing. Gen.G, when they had the lead, they choked T1 out, but T1 backbreakers in this game as Guma finds the double, looking for a few more kills, looking to tie up the series. Gen.G, whatever dominance they had domestically, it's a different story on the international stage. T1 won't go quietly, and Gen.G sent packing here in game 2.
I love the way we saw how both of these teams choke out their opponents. As we see T1 cleaning up the Nexus, unlike Gen.G who kind of slow things.
Mao.
He wouldn't. There we go.
The timer's up. Is it actually up? It's Bard.
It's
Okay.
Bard.
That's still hype.
Bard
Everything is
super
hype. Okay. Oh.
What a roller coaster.
Try and flip it. Faker looking to zone him away. Canyon would have to commit the flash.
Yeah, no. They can't. And
Tools to go wherever they want to punish individual members, but if T1 keep grouping, there's really no angle of attack.
there's no angle of attack, and it's just
here we
another.
go.
Oh,
Lock up there. Punt back into the tower. Tower turned off. Guma caught out, stunned. He'll be able to run out thanks to the Bardal. It's a little bit awkward, but Doran waiting over the wall. Now the bomb coming in for Canyon.
yeah, he's going to be able to take that. Meanwhile, Canyon is on this Drake on the bot side. Doran is going to kind of scout that out, but not really going to be able to do anything to contest. So good from Gen.G to recognize, again, this is a win on this Drake if they want to.
Also, Carrier, despite the capacity to take Smite, is still very bad at finishing objectives. From ulti from Carrier also has the potential to be big. No cleanse, but there's a barrier for Ruler. T1 have opted out. They are not interested. There will be no blood today.
I take back my earlier
Calm
statement.
down.
That's
Take
my
a
bad.
breath, Vancouver.
That's my
Calm
bad.
down.
There will be blood against the Drake, and I don't know, turrets can't really bleed.
They
But
can't
Doran's
really.
going to get some nice damage on this top
That
tier
he
one,
is, that
right?
he
They
is.
can crumble.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think
He's
top
gonna,
lane's going
he's
to
gonna get first turret
tower.
for T1.
45, which is below
They
average.
put up the team fight UI as
Wait,
a
Guma over the
optimistic.
wall.
Blue buff. No.
Blue buff there. Chovy looking for the engage. Carry ready to disrupt if he can, but they may have just been able to find the pick. That's a two-man, but the ulti's already coming over for Guma. Baker ready to get in the midst. Double flash out. They're going to find that first bubble. Who's going to get it there? Because Doran's still alive. Down he goes. Chovy gets the first blood.
Mayhem for a blue buff. Not what
Dante coming through. The big thing is the MF ult doesn't actually reach to do all that much damage.
Mountain Soul or Mountain Drake value is so high for Gen.G.
It is.
And again, none of that poke sticking. You can see Ruler just keeping Chovy topped up. Nice
Elixir of
back
Iron
step.
used by Doran.
Ready for the fight. T1 know how important this is. They're willing to give 500 gold in the back pocket of Doran. Just have that extra little bit of power in the fight. Trying to take control. Careful about walking into the choke point. Eyes on Guma and the ulti here. Excellent interrupt from Carrier to stop Chovy from getting that taunted, and now they're stepping forward. Ulti, fantastic follow, and now there's going to be no way out for Ruler. He doesn't have anything left. There's just enough shielding to keep him standing. Ruler lives, and now the fight breaks out. Keen in the midst of the entire team. The Kazante ready to pop off. Guma can't get any damage down, and Gen.G weather the storm of T1. Ruler stays standing. and Faker and Guma are not enough to turn the fight back. They keep most of their members, but they'll lose the Drake.
Despite a great ultimate with no flash available there, as
Hold that thought.
Faker's
They found
dead.
another.
It's just the Canyon ult.
Yeah.
He's not ready for it. That's
The Pantheon Galio combo.
I hate that that was Fent. That's mid lane turret, third turret of the game, by the way. Finally falling here, and GenG. They're
Advantages, but also it's T1, so maybe instead they're willing to bet it all on this Otacon. TP coming in from Keen. Ulti from Keria. The combo potential, what we have to keep our eye on. But Keen doesn't want to give them the space to set up. Doran trying to respond. Flash out of the gravity field. Keria going back over the wall. Canyon trying to zone away as best he can as Doran gets that health bar chunked. But not too much effective damage yet. And again, it could be Ruler just continuing to heal, continuing to top up Gen.G in the extended fight. It looks like it might be the 50-50. Guma waiting over the wall, but Chovy there, ready to deny the MF ultimate. Owner in the midst of the pit. Canyon locked up, but T1 don't have the burst damage objective. Yes, they do! It's Otacon down! A beautiful ult! Keria and Owner together securing the objective. Faker trying to make his way out. They got what they came for. He'll give his life, but will it cost them the Baron?
And it might not even be Baron. Look at the timer on Dragon. That was such a long stall. So Gen.G looks like they're going to go for the Baron instead, but maybe can turn this even into a soul as well.
Well, you see T1 are already heading over there, right? Keria is already heading over to the Drake pit. Keen is kind of following, shadowing Owner down.
It's two global ults. They can make their way over in a second.
Ready to go. Baron down for the side of Gen.G. Next fight.
There we go.
And they go.
Doro ready for the follow-up. Keria trying to go in. Ulti coming in for Guma, though! He lines him up and he tries to knock him down, but in goes Canyon right in the nick of time! Descending from the skies, denying T1.
Canyon immediately recognizing that he needs to draw.
Owner being able to secure the smite. The stalling from Gen.G was the big factor there. The fact that Senna kept them top, and that even though the objective...
The backline access coming out from this Galio Pantheon combo in tandem with the Kazan.
We'll let cooler heads prevail as they just continue the siege on tier 2s, and this is where it gets difficult. I think just 5 minutes ago, Chronicler, you mentioned the ability for Ruler to siege solo, but now has the entire team there to back him up. Only 50 seconds left on the Baron, so just this wave and the next, but T1 need to hold on. Lockdown onto Keen, exhaust there, he's unstoppable, just a use of the Pathmaker. Decent damage, but again, the ulti over the top from Ruler.
They just don't have the damage. Even getting through the Mountain Shield alone took them a bunch of cooldowns.
Canyon goes in, quick ulti out, and now the response coming in. Good damage, follow-up, Keen, knocked up! Owner finds the angle, ulti over the top coming in from Faker. Ulti not going to connect from Keria, but it might not matter. Chovy trying to keep this one going, though. Massive damage going in for the Galio. Canyon living for an extra moment, but Owner finds another in the clutch. Chovy going back in for Guma, though, and Ruler's still alive. The Senna's still alive. T1 need to take down Ruler, but they're out of cooldowns. They're out of damage, and they're out of hope in this game 3.
Faker barely living on the back half of that, but you're absolutely right, Dracos. It's Ruler. He is the main carry that you need to take out. Up. Chovy gonna clear out that ward, doesn't end up finding Faker.
He doesn't know. Doesn't actually get it. Gen.G, I
Come
think.
out of these carries when they are able to actually get any sort of access.
Over the wall. Again, don't want to give them the chance to breathe. Canyon stepping through as they can. As long as that inhibitor doesn't fall, they're in an okay spot to potentially contest the next objective. Owner trading blows, tries to make his way out of the taunt. Doro on the way into the mid lane. Finds the lockup, and Owner in trouble now. Forced to flash back into safety. Keen immediately into the back line. Gumayusi has a decent angle to get things kicked off, but it might not matter. Keen doing so much work. 2v1 against the T1 carries. Doran dies in the blink of an eye, and Gen.G go for the throat.
And that's the exact backline access we were talking about with this composition. This should be the backbreaker. This should be game. After this, Gen.G are going to be on match point.
Slow, steady suffocation from Gen.G. A single fight is all they need to turn this game into not a lot of opportunities for T1. The T1 gonna have to watch their Nexus falls as Gen.G go up 2-1.
Locked up, knocked down. Gen.G slow, controlled, confident, move on to match
A
point.
setup here.
Okay.
There is still flex potential. Obviously, this
Poppy
Poppy can go
topside
towards the
into
top
Poppy
lane.
top.
Are we gonna get Canyon?
Oh!
Canyon said!
There's the polar bear. He's not phased. We are, though.
He's unfazed. Of course we would be phased.
Doran beats Zeus. Myth started this. T1.
Chovy. Good damage, immediate flash out from Chovy, but a nice advantage to start. Charm to follow. Handshake back, and they go. Massive damage on the carry, and they get the kill. It's first blood for Ruler. Bot lane is doing. Chovy the one giving up more and more, and Duro and Canyon trying to make up for it. Nice handshake. Faker's here in a good position. Decent damage going through. Follow-up Shockwave only connecting onto one, and that's going to be big because it's Canyon to the backline trying to finish off Faker. Flash through! Ruler gets the job done. That's the initial ulti out. Bailout is there as well. Owner flashing to safety. He'll manage to survive. Ruler in the back line. Ruler shielded up and finding the kills. Gen.G. Canyon might be looking mid lane. Ulti over the wall. That's going to be the death mark. Faker trying to get tricky, trying to get his way out, but Canyon hits everything. Ulti follow. Trying to get something back onto Chovy. Owner still going forward. Doran on the way in. They're desperate to kill Chovy, but Chovy still manages to live for an extra moment. Bomba gets the job done. And T1 fire back.
Good counterpunch, but look at the top side.
Yeah, Kalista is going to get free push onto this turret. Both Ruler...
Want to try and not give Gen.G opportunity, just keep stacking these Drakes, but see if they can turn onto Keen.
Looking to find the angle onto Keen, hoping to find the knockback. Hits two members. An opportunity for Gen.G to go crazy, and Chovy immediately also get things kicked off. Dashing in. Shockwave hits two. Bomba back into the lineup. But Duro with the beautiful ultimate buys a few extra seconds. Ready now to go in. His owner pops the ulti. Darkness on the side of Gen.G. They know they... T1 happy to tie up the Drakes. An excellent fight in their favor.
And that's a massive punch in first. So if it is really, really close, it's going to be heavily dependent on bursting down those key targets.
Canyon seems to be the key target for now. Ulting to try to get away, but the Fear Tether still connects.
Whew.
Such a good punish there because
they're also going to be able to reset this map with Gragas already kind of pushing into the Ahri, and Faker going up to cover that topside wave.
Of the river, and particularly with an Ocean Rift, trying to regain control when you lost it as the Gen.G comp is very, very tough. Lot of really good flank angles for this Gragas, and that's now the second Drake going over to T1, and even
Stone Cold just keeps walking.
And the rest of T1 also not phased. Doran is just pushing in topside. Will be getting access. Carry and Faker already making their way over, and T1 kind of doing to Gen.G what Gen.G did to them in game number 3, just slowly choking them out of the game.
Perhaps baiting the trap. T1 don't have perfect information. The ward doesn't spot far enough. Now Doran will see what's happening. Chovy waiting over the wall. Flash it from the Gragas, getting things ticked up. For now, Ruler untouched on the backside. Canyon already out of the fight. And keep your eyes on Ruler as he starts to run rampant. Throws Duro back into the mix of the entire exchange. Ruler ready to take over, but the knockback is huge! Ruler goes down, buys a couple extra seconds. They need to finish off Doran so he can live, and then manage to make it work. Gen.G holding on. 2 stacks up for Chovy. Retreat going in. Big damage from Guma as the big one finds its target. Keen off on the side, gets feared up, locked up. Owner finding the kill. The charm onto Faker is big, but it's not enough damage to finish the...
Chovy still can't find what he's looking for.
And Faker is going to be able to clean up this bot tier 1.
Ready to kick things off. That little ward, that sliver of health might be the difference. Canyon waiting over the wall. Duro needs a good ulti here. Shockwave into the midst of the team is a decent start to the fight. Duro managing to get the ult out. It's chaos in the pit. The shutdown onto Owner is crucial. AK on the Baron and it's dropping. T1 want to keep this fight going. They don't want to risk the 50-50. They shouldn't have to. 5K, eyes on the prize for Gen.G. It's a split call as Chovy starts to dive into the backline. 2K on the objective. Doran in the midst of everything. He can't get it done. In the end, the Baron goes to the side of Gen.G. They found their moment and they took it.
That looked so dicey for Gen.G. Initially, they're able to get Owner out, damage him enough that they could stay on that Baron. On it, Faker is going to be able to clear up this tier 1 in mid, but they're already TPing.
Shockwave there as well. Flash ability for Owner if he wants to go over the wall, but 50-50 doesn't seem a likely story with Kalista in the game. Instead, Gen.G take down the Drake. Get themselves to 2. T1 still at soul point, but they'll also knock down the mid lane tower, and this is where the Red Bull Baron expect to see, finding a way back, finding these fights, and it was little missteps that ended up costing them that game.
It's actually very beefy. Serpent's Fang for Canyon. Look at Chovy now also having his arm guard available. A flanking ward to come through here. Chovy behind him.
Chovy ready to go, looking for Faker. He goes golden, instantaneous reaction speed. Keen now gonna look for some form of disengage. The Poppy on the front lines. Excellent ulti coming in from Duro, but it doesn't do too much. Chovy ready to go over the wall one more time, but he's warded out this time. T1 are ready. Ulti for ulti, tried to flash it. Duro wants to make the difference, but it doesn't quite connect. And instantaneously Canyon goes in, finds the follow-up damage. Chovy taking down Doran. T1 on the retreat. Gen.G still standing strong. Only Doran. No ulti, no flash.
Oh,
it seems like they're just not worried.
Fast enough.
Baron also not afraid to frontline, knows.
Mirroring vision.
Chovy's gonna show on this top wave.
Shirelia's popped. Chovy showing. Barrel sidestep. Keen goes in. Now Ruler's uncontested. Look at the damage coming out of this Kalista already. Owner forced to ultimate. Canyon on the way out, but he goes right back, and he brings him in. The combo only connects on one. Chovy on the side. Eyes on the Yari, but he's not able to find anything. One more dash, all that's left. Doran getting lower. Gumayushi still standing strong. Gen.G. Redemption bringing them back healthy. T1 hurt, but not out of it.
Close.
No one has died. Doran can TP in fresh.
Chovy the last dash out. Shockwave gone, ulti's gone across the board, the Poppy ult. Keen, eyes on him, can he make the difference? 5K, objective getting lower. Ulti there, spell shield there, they can't get into the pit, they cannot find it. Keen continuing to walk up, Canyon secures it with the smite. Ruler knocked back for a moment, and down goes Doran.
T1 still looking.
Baker does not want to give them the chance to back, to reset.
Combo's almost available again.
Wants to keep the fight going. Gen.G, Ruler wants to push the wave on the side.
Canyon.
T1, if they bet wrong here with the wave already pushing, it could cost them the game.
Now vision.
Canyon threatening. Shadows out. Now the ulti. But they take their time, they're waiting on the retreat. They saw the W used, they're gonna force the flash as well. Keen continues to go in. Big damage, Shockwave back, Keen! Over eager and shut down! T1 playing on the edge.
Is that this is most likely going to lead into them getting prio on this dragon.
Does not want to let anyone in from the side of T1, but the combo from the Nocturne Orianna will always be lethal. Ruler starting the objective. It won't be a 50-50 on the smite. It's going to take a miracle. Ocean, Drake, Ocean Soul secured, and now Chovy goes in. They manage to get the Zhonya's out immediately, and Owner's going to try to fire it back, but he can't get anything else done. Canyon posturing on the side, and T1 uncertain of where they can go, but Doran sees the angle clearly. Deathmark in. Shockwave! Flawlessly timed as Guma now gets the shutdown. Keen looking for the disengage. Ruler untouched as he starts to take over. Doran forced backwards by the hostile takeover. The pullback on the handshake is good, and Chovy now in trouble, but it does not matter. Guma going in, quick cleanse. Chovy going golden. Doro not in a great spot to follow up, and it's Ruler. It's Ruler versus the world, but T1 are not going to give him the angle. They group up. They stand strong. Doran going in. Doran not able to find it. It's Soul for the side of Gen.G, but T1 for now ahead in kills. They found 2. If they keep this fight going, they can put the pressure on. They can try to close it.
The health bars though, the healing from this Ocean Soul is so big.
TP back in.
TP in though.
Faker on the way. Keen needs to find a way out. Veer there. Knock back onto Keen. Right into the midst of the team, and now Doro and Ruler have to make all the difference, but Owner finds the reset. He's into the back line. It's him versus Ruler, but Ruler just takes it. They have to keep him running. They have to take him out of the equation. T1 should just finish it here. He's gliding! Flash! Pierce! He just continues to walk away. Marshall Poise trying to style on them. But the GA denied. Taken away. He'll find no value, and it is T1 find their man.
Look at the death timers. 60 seconds on Ruler. Keen still down as well. FT1 done the impossible.
Canyon. Vancouver alive.
Oh my gosh.
Vancouver hungry for more from
Chovy's
T1
up as well.
for game 5.
They just got to clear.
They have to keep pushing. The Ocean Soul will remain for Gen.G as long as they stay in this game. T1 a brief glimmer, a brief moment to take it. They'll back both top laners, so crucial to their team's success, even if their scoreline not spectacular. The Poppy ult, the Gragas ult, the tools to kick things off. The Charm, though, might make the difference. Oh, he's been caught out. Owner missed the entire team trying to ult out the safety. Faker knocked entirely out of the fight. Canyon wants to follow, but Doran is there with the body slam to deny him access.
Disengage is there. Faker, or sorry, Chovy rather, keeps looking for these plays, but now Prio on Baron for Gen.G, and the ultimate for Owner is gone.
Shockwave.
Yeah, that's huge. Shockwave is
from
still
Faker
up.
can be big. Taking his time, waiting for the angle as Gen.G just descend on the objective. They know they have the advantage if it comes down to it. Contempt for the weak, the passive for the Zed. The E from the Kalista should finish it. But instead is Keen picked off. Eyes on Faker again with the Shockwave. Gen.G desperate to burst through the objective. 6K, lower and lower. It should be impossible for Owner, but he might be able to make it happen. No, Gen.G get it, and Ruler's running rampant. Or they can't get to the backside. Ruler untouched. Double kill for T1. Objective down in Gen.G's favor, but again, the cost is too high. Guma stands tall, Doran on the chase. Chovy golden, but headed to silver, and it's the Quadra.
A quadra kill for Gumayushi. This Corgi is massive. The hero of this is Doran. This Gragas has been instrumental in these T1 fights. He showed up in playoffs to get them here. He's showing up massively again in this game.
T1 will not be denied a game 5. Once more into the fray we go again.
Enough
Okay.
in terms of how they like to play,
Area playing
how
with
they
the
like to
crowd.
pressure their opponents. He's gonna walk it Pike. Yes!
Pike it is. We haven't seen a second of
This is so
gameplay yet,
good.
and this is already
I'm so excited.
a banger. So aggressive in the bottom lane.
And it's a big deal. Even if Keria doesn't actually roam over, Chovy has to play a lot safer as Canyon. He's level down.
Hit, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. The red buff is there too. Canyon trying to finish the objective to hope he get level 3 himself, but the autos are just not going to do much of anything. Owner determined to finish it. Heal going
Canyon's
in.
dead.
Canyon down for first blood. Aurora ult stolen.
Pike on the way as well. They can't contest
Yeah.
this.
Okay, should just get taken out. Canyon might throw a cheeky spear, but it just won't matter. Drake over to the
Even
side.
if Canyon looks for something on the spot side, he is going to get spotted out by that ward on the
dive king.
invade.
Doran.
They have TK.
Split dives, two sides of the map. Owner ready with the setup. They want to go all in on this Renekton. Doran trying to style the exhaust already there. Ulting back through to get under the tower, but now he's face first with Canyon. Dash through his key. Looking for the cash out. And on the top side, the feed of warfare is claimed. A massive influx of gold.
Keria goes down, but it does not matter. T1 wins on both sides of the map, and Owner's going to be able to clean up these grubs.
Doran doesn't have enough to use his flash. He's just chilling. He's vibing.
Half a level, and now Owner is potentially going to be looking for another dive.
Oh,
Keen.
Faker's on his way as well.
Trying to hold on. Dominus use. Q into the wall. Good combo. Keen can't push a single button.
Minutes in.
Well, again, that's what happens when you don't stick it in the Renekton lane. They don't have the prio. Canyon hasn't been able to make any plays on this Nidalee with either the Renekton or the Aurora in this attempt to kind of bridge the gap for this Jinx to even get into the game. It's cost them. Wow.
He steals it!
The Jinx trying to stay relevant, but this mid lane turret sure to fall. And this is what Pike loves, right? And yes, the gold lead has, I think, been meaning.
Bot was pushing in. They have complete vision here. Ruler trying to steal it again. Doesn't get it this time. But that initial steal means that they don't have to contest, despite the fact that T1 have set the map so heavily in their
Drake
favor.
buys them extra time, buys them another few minutes, but I don't think it'll stop T1 from breaking this tower.
Yeah, and it's just so tough.
Ulti in, Ruler caught out. They know Tom Kench doesn't have the Devour, so they go all in on the play.
Just set up here by T1. But literally, again, because of that steal from Ruler, GenG can now opt out of this. I don't know if they will, based on the
GenG, good retreat, calm, collected. Trying to keep prio, using range advantage in mid. Owner, pull back onto Keen is good. But you can see how hard it is for T1 without an angle of attack to kick these fights off. All eyes on Doran. The Ambessa wants to keep things going. Quick flash out. Ruler still standing. Duro tries to get a sidestep, but it does not matter. Keen keeping things going. And exhaust onto the Ambessa.
Reset.
And it's Chovy! Chovy in the midst of the fight. Keeping it going as Keen wants to go forward. Guma off on the side, completely isolated. Eyes on the Draven, though he might just be able to catch up, but it's the reset for Ruler. Ruler, 1.5 items. It does not matter. He's still managing to make it work. The zap there. Guma. 2v1, 3v1, 4v1, they continue to descend. Gen.G have found an angle of attack.
Making
T1.
sure that members of T1 were a bit separate. And the most important things are Chovy going in alongside the Kench for safety.
GenG has tempo. Owner spotted.
Doran's so
comes
far
Keen.
away. Are they willing to bet on the 50-50? Wait for the Sonic Wave to expire. Must be the call. Traps are there too. They've caught out Owner. Owner locked up the kickback, trying to retreat now as Canyon's already taken the objective. Rocket hits him! Another reset for Ruler! The double kill for Gen.G's 80 carry.
Oh my god, they can go for Nash!
Gen.G in the blink of an eye in a single fight in the mid lane, and now on the top side at Otacon have wrested control from T1, but T1 refused to go quietly, knocking down the tier 2. They want to try and break the base, desperate to get more. Baron falling for Gen.G. Inhib Tower falling for T1, but now it's T1 on the back foot. They need to survive this buff as Chovy just takes more gold on the top side.
Oh my gosh, what a back and forth game. Ruler's Jinx back in it. Gen.G, but Ruler's now ahead.
Wildly far ahead, despite the cash out for Guma. 480 stacks still, he can turn things back, but we know this is where Ruler really takes over the range.
And it was fights that brought T1 back to a game 5 from the deficit despite the soul in the previous game. It's gonna have to be fights, it's gonna have to be a crazy pick from Owner, but now the rest of Gen.G is online as well, right? 3 items on Chovy, Canyon sitting on 2, they can't just go for Ruler.
So many times in the clutch, T1 have made the impossible possible. They'll have to do it again because Gen.G are more powerful. Gen.G weathered the storm of T1's composition, and they're not looking to give them anything back now that they've taken hold.
And how clutch was that Drake steal from
Every single member of this T1 lineup is vulnerable, but Chovy himself is vulnerable as well. Initial lockdown is good. Hook to pull him back, but he hits into the wall. Follow-up now coming in. Chovy buying an extra second. The weirding as he tries to retreat. He will just have to give his life. Quick shutdown! Oh, and that gold lead looking a hell of a lot closer after that cash-in.
that cash in, but then you see Gen.G immediately responding. They still have Baron
Rocket.
buff
Cancel.
minions.
Cancel resets.
Oh!
Baker! Oh! Ah! Oh, he tried. No, they can't afford to give him an angle.
Ruler. The cannon saves him.
Ulti in, managing to connect immediate exhaust. Toro's already used the ulti, and now Faker probably going to try to look to follow up. Dorn on the retreat, though, and Chovy firing back. Keen, the flash forward. Ruler now allowed to free fire, but they haven't found the reset yet. Guma so low, but he's still standing. Crucially, healing now coming in. Massive damage from the Draven, but Gen.G are on the chase. One reset for Ruler. May just end it here. Duro, the Q flash forward. Canyon chasing as well. Doran splitting from the rest of his team for a hope at another shot, at another fight, because it's falling apart for T1.
Super minions are in the base. They're going up from that bot lane. T1 have to back to respond.
That's going to be, I was going to say a soul point, but it looks like Gen.G instead want to push for mid. 1 inhib is nice, 2 inhibs is actually debilitating. Makes it so much harder to get outside of your base.
Gen.G continuing to push up. T1, the last desperate stand.
Are they going to actually push the end? Doran is 25 seconds.
Gen.G looking to close it. So much hope domestically, looking to make good as Carrier tries to find the fight, but it's Guma isolated on the side, looking to take down Ruler. One more auto, but it doesn't quite have the damage. Ruler living in the clutch. Gen.G hold the line. Gen.G knock down T1 and advance to the finals.
And the main character of Gen.G, let there be no doubt, is that man on your screen. Came back after a lackluster year, and what a comeback it's been.
What an amazing moment for Ruler, getting that clutch Drake steal.